Yeah, so one of the biggest challenges that teams face is communication, right? And we break down a whole like half day on this training when we do our corporate leadership training, where communication isn't just words. Only 7% of our communication is done through words. 38% is done through voice and inflection. 55% is done through facial expression and body language. And this is why I'm such a proponent, and I tell teams all the time, when you get on Zoom, because we are juggling this hybrid work balance, right? Where some people are at home, some people are in the office. Now companies are starting to recognize the importance of communication and how this is destructing, it's breaking down their team in a way that they haven't been able to get around. And that's because 55% of communication is done through body language and facial expression. And when you're doing this behind a screen, they've done studies like the level of oxytocin that's released via FaceTime versus in person is radically increased when it's in person versus FaceTime. So you're just energetically losing this engagement that you have with your team, with your partners, with your business partners, whatever it might be, when you are stuck on Zoom, okay? And so it's really critical, however, to mitigate a lot of that loss by ensuring that people are have their video on, right? There's like step number one with Zoom, and make sure that your team, it's just a non-negotiable in my company. We have a meeting, everybody's camera is on. You are not allowed into the meeting with your camera off. If your camera is off, that's like grounds for dismissal. We're here as a team to support each other the best way. I don't give a rip if you're in your jammies. I don't care if you've got a nice shirt on and pajama bottoms under. I don't give a rip how you look like when you're coming to my team meetings, right? We want you there, present, engaged, and driven toward the purpose that we have for radically transforming teams and doing it individually, one person at a time, because we're firm believers you can only radically transform your team when you radically transform the individuals that are involved with your team, and you have to start there first. And this is one of the key components that organizations miss all the time. They want to go in, these team leadership companies, and just do leadership development for their team, and they're bypassing and they're missing the fact that they've got to address the individuals, get them operating at 100%. Now we move into the teamwork. Now we move into communication. Now we put all the pieces together of what we've been dealing with and how that applies to how we communicate. And like I said, we teach there's 6 pillars of communication. Communication isn't just our words. It's our presence. It's our ability to problem solve. We've got a whole structure of how you problem solve, how you deal with constructive conflict, all of those things. It's so encompassed that it takes, like I said, literally a half a day of just training on communication without people, before people are capable of implementing and integrating the skill set that they have in order to shift the way that their team communicates. And once they do this, you guys, I mean, it blows the communication level, like it blows the socks off of them. People are like, holy crap, I've studied words, I've studied this, I've done communication courses. This is just radically different. We get to the core of who you are. We get you operating out of your best. You understand how and why you communicate the way that you do, and now you're able to communicate so much better through our 6 pillars of communication with your team.